Okay, so we are live now. So one, two, three, let's start, guys. So once again, welcome everybody to today's session. It's the second episode in our Supercharging Your Business series powered by Zazuu. I'm Ibrahim. I work as a group manager with Zazuu, and I'm super excited to have two of my amazing colleagues here with me. I mean, they champion our entire customer experience management team along with the other colleagues as well. So I have with me Francis and Chidinma. So I'll let you guys introduce yourself. Let us get to meet you guys. What do you do as Zazuu? Who is Chidinma? Who is Francis? What are your interests? Just, I mean, our partner would love to know more about you guys besides just what happening at work. So please go ahead. Over to you, guys.
Okay, cool. I think I'll just go first. So my name is Francis. I am the customer experience manager at Zazuu. Basically, what I do on a day-to-day basis, just to the day-to-day running of the CX team in general, from our interactions with our customers as well as internal stakeholders as well, or other departments as well. But aside work, Francis, I love sports, football especially, right? I don't know, Ibrahim, if you're a fan of football, but yes, I'm a fan of football.
Liverpool.
Unapologetic Manchester United fan, even if we've not been there for the past how many seasons, but yes. But yeah, that's majorly me. Okay, I love movies as well. So if I'm not working, either football or movies. So that's Francis.
Okay, awesome. I will sell you Liverpool later. I think you should leave Man U. Sarah Chidinma. Yeah, let's get to meet you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Chidinma. Um, I'd say I'm an experienced enthusiast. So customer experience, user experience, the product experience, that's what I would say that I have interest in. I think that in all those things, there are two things that are very important: your customer and technology. Very important to every business, and they're always changing. So it keeps me interested. It keeps me on my feet, always having to learn new ways to uh, get the best of both. So and then aside from work, I'm not a football enthusiast. But I like food. Yeah, so I like food. I like to watch movies and shows as well. I like travel, but it's an expensive experience. So some of us see through the eyes of others. I'm very big on travel vlogs and all of that. Yeah, so that's Chidinma in a nutshell. Back to you, Brian.
Okay, awesome. So I'll just stay with you, Chidinma, for the first question. Now we are jumping right into the entire session itself. So personally, I mean, I've heard so much about customer experience, but let's start with the basics, right? Where exactly is your customer is a customer? As an example, if I run the traditional brick and mortar store, if someone comes into my shop to make an inquiry, are they a customer already? Or do I have to wait until they buy? Are my
No,
customers limited
no. I would
to...
say
Okay, go ahead.
okay. Yeah, so that would be a client, but still is a potential customer. So at the end of the day, the goal is to treat everyone as your customer. So you assume that they're here to actually get something from you. So as at the point they have bought a product or a service from you, at that point they have become a consumer. So that is essentially the difference between a customer and a consumer. A customer is um, anyone interested in your business. A consumer is someone who has actually purchased or has lent your service and is currently using your service. That's from my understanding. It's not a dictionary explanation, but yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm very familiar with the word consumer and very familiar with the word customer, but this particular way you explained it, I'm like, wow, okay. And that's like super insightful for me because I've always felt like your customers are those maybe because in marketing we talk about customers profile, customer segment, all of those things. So it feels like, oh, maybe your potential customers are your customers, or maybe your those would have converted are your customers. But I like the way you explain it as consumer and then your consumer, or let me say the end users and then your customers. So customer is pretty much everybody, maybe someone that made inquiries, someone that have sort of like asked questions about it. Like a prospect is a customer to, right, from what you're saying, and everybody has to be properly well taken care of. So that's very, very helpful. Francis, anything you want to chip in, or you completely agree?
Yeah, so if I were to just add to what Chidinma has said, again, Ibrahim, coming from your point, Groot's point, usually a lot of segmentation as to okay, you
Yeah,
have leads, and so what I would just do is I would probably just, again, for customers, there are different ways you can categorize customers, right? But I'll just use a certain category that sort of explains what Chidinma has said. So I would say you have prospective customers. Yeah, they have interest in your product, right, or whatever you are selling, your value proposition. They're interested, and as well they have the financial resources to actually end up purchasing that. But they are the beginning part of the journey, as it were, right? So maybe at that point, I'm coming to make an inquiry just to see. I might not like what I'm seeing at the get go. Maybe we still have to have one or two meetings before I decide to
yeah,
stick with your product and make that final payment, right? So then you could have your current customers, right, who probably make your customer base, right? Those are people that are currently, as Chidinma put it, who have consumed your product, they are using your product, they have used your product, right? Then the third for me would be, I would say, lost customers, right? Now, I did this category so you can see
yeah,
the
yeah,
life cycle, as it were. Beginning, I am inquiring, I'm using your product, and for some reason or the other, I lose interest or I see something better and I leave you, right? So I become like a lost customer, as it were, to you, right? So yeah, basically, I just wanted to chip in there with what Chidinma has already said.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, so much. Now, the reason why I'm asking this is again because a lot of the audience will be watching this video. Probably, I mean, they're in different categories from consumer electronics to fashion to healthcare, and it's important people realize that look, at the end of the day, everybody from those making inquiries to those who have given you $1 million in sales have to be properly treated, right? Because you never can tell how that first time customer would end up to help you grow or affect your business in a good way or otherwise. So thank you so much. Okay, so which then brings me to the key question of so what is customer experience? Now it's a bit clear in my head, right? Where a customer is. So how do you then define customer experience? How do you explain customer experience? I'm a small business owner. People have told me, oh, you need to, I don't know, work on your customer experience. What does that mean in itself? How do I bring it to life? Yeah. So, Francis?
Oh, okay. So I would say, for me, as a person, actually, with from experience, I would say your customer experience, just what it basically speaks to is the impression customers have about your brand, right?
Hmm.
So what this means is it's from the first point of a customer hearing about your brand, right, up until they eventually use that product. So I would say all the interactions from hearing about your brand to the thank you note of saying, "Oh, thank you for shopping with us," or "Thank you for making this purchase. I hope to see you soon." Right. So all the interactions from that point, in its entirety, is what makes up customer experience. What is the customer experience in terms of from advertising? You're advertising your product. You put up a post on social media. When someone sees it, what do they feel about that advert? Do they say, "Oh, I would like to know more about this product," and come in to
Yeah.
say, reach out to you via DM on your social media? So actually, okay, how do I go about making a purchase? What is the experience like for me making a purchase? What's the experience like for me when I get the product and I use that product? It's still all this still revolves around customer experience. Should I need after sales services and I reach out to you, oh hey, this particular item is not working as it should, right?
Yeah.
That still falls into what we look at as customer experience.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Chidinma, any angle you also want to bring in?
Yeah, so I agree with everything Francis has said. Just like he explained when he was trying to define the customers, he talked about your prospective customers and lost customers. So that entire thing, that entire journey is what's important to customer experience. So in the sense that you're interested, customer experience begins from the first point of contact. So whatever touch point your customer comes in contact with. So if it's the first time they see a marketing ad, that is the beginning of their customer experience. So how do they feel about what they have seen? What are the impressions that they have formed from what they have seen? And then
Yeah.
because all those things then inform whether or not they go ahead with doing business with you. So that's essentially is customer experience. It's a whole thing. It's a very broad um, it's very broad. Let me just put it like that. And that is the reason why. So you said there are some business when you started a business, they advise you to have a customer experience problem. It's because some of these things can be lost in the cracks. You either pay attention to only those people who are buying from you, and then you're not bothered about what's being put out on all your touch points, your social media, your chatbots, your
Mm.
blogs, all of that is included in the customer experience.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so let me start with you, Chidinma. I mean, you are the experienced person from travel experience, the customer experience, this product experience. Okay, so I will use me, right, as an example. I have no idea, right? I mean, I'm getting to learn better about customer experience now because I work with you guys at Zazuu, so I know we have you guys to help us take care of customers and all of their concerns. And you guys are like really, really killing it. Now, let's say I have my own personal side gig that I run. Maybe I run a barbecue in the evening, right? And I want to build customer experience into it. I understand that I probably don't have the best recipe. I probably don't have the best price. I probably can't compete with price, but I want to compete with customer experience. So how do I start, right? What would be like a very good point to say, you know what, because customer experience is key, this is how best to go about it. Bearing in mind, I'm a small business. I probably can't afford yourself and Francis for now, right? But I want customer experience, right? I want to use that as my head for my barbecue business. So how do I design customer experience into my business, starting out so that from day one I'm pretty much killing it.
Mhm. Okay. So to answer your question, I'd say that when you're speaking about experience, there's another word. I hope now I'm not just throwing words in empathy.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So you have to pretty much put yourself in somebody else's shoes. So you have started a business, whatever the business is. You as the business owner know the kind of people, the audience, your target audience, the people you want to talk to. So it's left for you as the business owner to sit back and think, if I were my customer, what would I want to see? How would I want to be appealed to?
Mm.
So when you start thinking like that, it makes it so much easier. It makes it easy for you to say, this is how I want the product to be. So you're not just coming from a selfish point of view saying, this is what I want to do and make money out of it. You're actually interested in what your consumers, what your customers want. So that is the first thing to do. It's the first thing is to see yourself as that customer. Every business is providing a need. So you can't say you're providing a need if the needs are not being met.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I do.
So
Yeah.
you put yourself in that position. Like, okay, this is what I would want to see if this is what I'm looking for. So that is pretty much the customer experience. So you're saying, okay, this is exactly what I would want to experience. Um, so while that could also be biased, sometimes it's also good to get feedback from other people. So you find a lot of startups engaging other people. That's why I've had experience with startups. You see them attending a lot of events, a lot of social events. And
Yeah.
what they want to do is get information from other people. If you were to, when you wanted this service, what did you look out for? So if
Mm.
you're looking for a bus filling service, what exactly do you want? Do you want them to come to your house? Do you want them to pick you up at your bus stop? How many minutes would you mind them waiting for you? Just stuff like that. So you're asking questions. It's like you're getting feedback. You're doing your research.
Mm.
So
Mm.
because forming your customer experience based on what you think the customer would want could be biased. So it's good to also hear from other people. So yeah, you don't have to go out of your way to employ a whole customer experience team. You can start yourself. There's a limit to how much you can do, but of course,
Yeah.
it's a very good start. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What I would do is, After this recording, I probably will go back to this session and play it like slowly because there's so much you said, right? I think to summarize is a keyword that I kept hearing in my head is empathize, empathize with your customer, right? Like try and live life through through your customer. That's like what would they want to see. So if they come to my barbecue stand from approaching the stand itself, what do I want them to experience from placing their order, waiting for their order, then receiving their order, making payments. That's one hand. Then also, you know, even went to as far as then going out to go to where my customers frequent events, trade shows, seminars, and trying to be there as well to even try to like experience them and engage with them. Like then like doing proper research to ask myself, okay, so these are my customers, what do they want to experience? What are they? I mean, that's a whole lot, right? That's really, really a whole lot. Thank you so much. So I don't know if you want to add anything to this, Francis.
Yeah, I would just say one or two things. First thing I would say is, yeah, you start up. I would just pick it up from what you gave, the example you gave. You want to go into barbecue and you want to know how exactly you should go about it, right? So first thing, you're a startup, you're a small business, right?
Yeah.
Like Chidinma had said, think like your future customer, right? Think like your future customer, because the thing is, you are not the first person starting that business,
Yeah,
right?
true.
You are not the first person starting that business. Even if you do all your analysis, you check your environment, and there would be other options. So what you have to do at that point is, Chidinma had said, if I were to, like, I would say your customer journey. What do you want your customers to experience when they come to you, right? What do you want to do differently that other people don't do? I would
Yeah.
use myself as an example, right? Where I stay, I have there are plenty places around my area where I could get maybe one. Probably I want to get soap, right? There's probably just a very close shop close to my place. I could actually just go there, but I don't. I go a distance, not because
Mm.
the price is going to change, right? Not
Yeah.
because the price is lower, right? But because of the experience I get when I'm in this shop. So what does this what how can you get that kind of experience? How can you have customers feel that way? So one thing is personalize it.
Mm.
If
Mm.
you have a business and you make your customers feel more like family than numbers, that is one of the best places to start, right?
Mm.
Someone you have a barbecue, you start up a conversation while you're attending to that, just make the person feel at ease. Now at some point you would see that particular person, should I say customer A, would want to come to your shop, not just because I want to get barbecue. I might not even need to take barbecue, just
Yeah.
because of the conversation we had. I just want to continue that conversation with you, right? That's personalized service. You basically have personalized, made it more like a family. You've made your customers feel more like a family, because one thing is customers like to feel like they belong,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So
Very true.
if a customer should give you a feedback, say, oh, I feel your business can do with a little more, say, decorations. Could you just put decoration
Mm.
outside your business, probably in front of your shop? And the next time they come, they see that they're going to feel that like they belong, that this I'm a part of this business, because
Yeah.
I gave feedback and it was taken,
And we're
right?
taking, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right. So that's personal. Just you make it more personal, right? All your interactions from the first time they're hearing about you, till they actually purchase, right? Again, don't fail to deliver on what you promised, right?
Promise. Yeah.
Now
Exactly.
you've sold it in terms of, okay, maybe you had a website, or you had a Twitter space, or an advert on Twitter saying, oh, come to my barbecue shop, you get your order ready in 10 to 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Now you've given them your word, it's 10 to 15 minutes. Now imagine a customer comes and they've waited 30 minutes,
Yeah.
40 minutes, 45, they haven't been attended. Even if they wait to get that order, believe you me, they are most likely not coming back, right?
Yeah. True.
Because
Very likely.
they say first impression matters, and all that stuff, right? So because one thing you need to know as a business is, your customers that are not satisfied, right, would most times they're not going to complain. I'll use
Mm.
myself as an example. If I'm unhappy about your service, I most likely wouldn't tell you, because I know there's another option out there. I would probably make that purchase, but I probably would not, except
Come
maybe
back.
you ask. except maybe you come after me and say, oh, hey, I'm not seeing you anymore. What's up? What happened? Is there anything I did wrong? Then I'll go ahead to say, hey, right? So at that point, so what exactly you need to do now is ensure what you promise your customers, you keep to your promise, right? You keep to your promise. Again, sorry, this is just be the last part of it. It
That's
doesn't
fine.
matter
This
if
is
it doesn't
insightful.
matter if it doesn't matter if of course, you're starting up, right? You don't have as much resources as, say, an established firm, a firm that has been there 10, 15 years. You don't have the goodwill, you don't have that customer base yet, right? But like I said before, personalization, connecting with your customers. So if I came to your barbecue shop and you had promised 10 to 15 minutes, and for some reason you are going to miss out on that, but before that time you reach out to me and you say, oh, hey, I know I promised you 10 to 15 minutes, right? But
Yeah.
this came up, right? Due to this maybe someone your delivery agent or something happened that you couldn't just meet up with it, right? Most customers would appreciate you reaching out to them and saying, hey, this is the reason why I can't meet up to this, right?
Yeah.
Just walk
True.
walk you
True.
through. I'll give an example. I had a family friend that traveled out, and of course, I had made a reservation at a hotel. Now, of course, the experience before up to that point was good, right? He had made the reservations online. He had checked in. So when he wanted to check in, all of a sudden they tell him, "Oh, there's no room." Right?
Wow.
There's no room,
Wow.
and and he's looking at it and he's like, "What exactly do you expect me to?" So at that point, what they did was they actually sat down and spoke to this person saying, oh, hey, oh, we're sorry, we know you booked, right? We know you booked, just give us a couple of minutes. In the meantime, this is on the house, just have this. They made him feel, oh, there is an issue, right? But you are more, it's more than a number, right? We're not just, because again, a business will just say, oh, we're fully booked, please find somewhere else
Everything else, yeah, to
to
use.
be, right? So now there was a disruption in the service, right? But till date, he would recommend that hotel, not because they have a stellar, like they don't have issues, right? But
Yeah.
because of how they manage the issues when they occur.
Social
So
behavior.
that's something as well you need to, work on as well for your cost as a growing business. How, if issues occur for some reason that you can't meet your value proposition, how do you go about it? How do you educate your customers? How do you relate to them or with them? Do you make them feel, oh, like Chidinma had said, you feel empathy and say, oh, I'm truly sorry about this, or you look at them more as numbers and say, oh, I'm sorry, and that's it, right? So
Wow.
I will just stop there. So
Yeah.
I think
Awesome. Awesome.
but yes.
Okay. So when you were talking, right, a lot of questions came into my head that are not they are not in my scripts. So allow me to digress a bit from what I have here as my pre-listed questions. As an example, because literally every startup, every small business, struggles with this. You try to deliver to your customers or clients, and then you don't meet your own expectations or the expectations of you. So what then do I do in a case where I've made promises to my clients to say, oh, you would get your clothes, as an example, as a laundry service on Monday, 8 p.m. For some reason, Wednesday, 6 p.m., your clothes is still not ready. Now, how do I solve that? Because again, like you said, when we were talking, first impressions matter a lot. And for most small businesses, you probably spent a lot to acquire your first customers. You don't want to lose them. You want to keep them because it costs more to acquire new customer compared to keeping old customers. So what do I do as a small business in situations where I have sort of like disappointed a particular customer or even customers? How do how do I go back to change that impression? What do I say? What do I do? I like the example of the hotel. Giving the guys some bit of hospitality treatment, maybe the coffees on us, no, we are sorry. But I don't have that kind of budget, right? To give all of my previously disappointed customers, like a pex to say sorry. But what do I do? How do I repair a broken trust between me and my customers? Again, I'm a small business.
Do I
Okay,
go?
so okay, Chidima, you want to go? Do you want to take it?
Sure. So I was just going to say, you said, how do you repair the trust that you have? You're a small business, first time you're engaging this customer. The first thing is there's no trust yet. So at that point, you're still building the trust.
Oh, I
Um,
see. I see.
and
Thank you.
thing to do at that point is, first of all, don't wait till the deadline or when you're supposed to deliver to let them know there's a delay. So you're saying your customer is supposed to get their clothes tomorrow morning, and as at this afternoon, you know that there is a delay. Best thing to do is to first of all reach out to that person and be as transparent as possible. You don't need to let them know or wash your dirty linen in public. Just let
Yeah.
them know what the issue is. Oh, we're sorry, we have staffing issues or whatever it is. We're sorry, there has been some delay. We apologize. We know that we have, we promised this and we will try our best to keep up with this. But this is the current situation on ground. And I always tell people that I'd rather hear the truth. Let me know what is going
Yeah.
on than be kept in the dark. Worst thing that can
True.
happen is I'm expecting my clothes tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, and I haven't heard anything. I'm now the one doing the reaching out, saying what's going on with my clothes, and then you're telling me, "Oh, sorry, there's a delay." Like
Yeah.
you'd have told me that yesterday. I could still have made plans, to either wear something
Get
else if I
something
needed,
else. Yeah, exactly.
excuse me, or just prepare my mind that there is going to be a delay. So I would say that's the first thing you do. The first thing, never wait for the deadline before you inform your customers that there is a delay or there has been some issue. So it's not right when it's the customer reaching out and asking, okay, so what's going on? So we should be as
Yeah.
transparent as possible, especially since you're trying to build trust. It's the same thing with any relationship. You're trying to build a relationship with a friend or even like a romantic relationship, whatever it is. You want to be as transparent as possible. Don't give them
Yeah.
any room to suspect you. So, and I would say it's the same thing in business as well. I've had experiences where people have reached out to me. Oh, we promised you this and this and this, but this is the current situation on the ground. Maybe power issues. I'm also in Nigeria, and I understand. So
Yeah.
you tell me that, and then I say, oh, okay. So how soon can I get it? Then you estimate another time. Then I know that I'm working with that. So it's now left for you as a business to do everything within your power to meet the extended deadline, because pushing it again is where then now becomes an issue. So that is the first thing that I would say that you should do as a small business. Francis.
Okay. Thank you so much, Francis.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with what Chidima has said, right? Um, you are not going to meet up. You for some reason are not going to meet up, right? So most times, right, what customers remember might not be what like might not be exactly maybe enjoying the product, right? So I'll give an
Yeah.
example. Um, there might be no difference between the coffee I get at the shop opposite my place, right? And maybe one maybe 20 minutes away or 30 minutes away from where I stay. But because of the experience, because of the experience I get in the shop, I like 20, 30 minutes away from my house, I don't mind going that 30 minutes, right? So you as a small business, like Chidima had said, you are trying to build that trust. You are trying to build that trust, right? How
Yeah.
do you build trust? By being as transparent as Chidima said as possible. For some reason you cannot meet up. Yes, I know the fear basically would be this, which this is where business sort of missed the point. The fear is, oh, if I tell this person, if I tell this client, basically, oh, I can't meet up, or I can't, the person probably going to take it as, oh, so this is how your business is, right?
Yeah.
So,
True.
but here's but here's what you don't understand, or here's what we miss as it were. I want something. I need something. You promised me something on Monday, and the reason for Monday is I've made plans around Monday, right? I've made
Yeah.
plans around Monday.
True.
So for some reason, you can't meet up on Monday, and you feel the best time to let me know is when I reach out to you um, to ask for my item, right? I would use it like a laundry service, as it were. So you feel the best time to inform me that, oh, I'm sorry, you can't get your laundry Monday. You probably get it on Wednesday. You need to put yourself in the shoes of like, oh, okay, this particular for a customer, there's a need, like Chidima had said, there's a need for your service, there's a need for your product, right? So you, for some reason, you cannot
Meet up.
meet up, right? You might not have as you said, you might not have the resources to say, oh, we're sorry that we didn't meet your date. Oh, here's a gift basket. You might not have that at
Mhm.
that point, but you can be as transparent and say, oh, I know I promised you Monday, but for some reason or the other, I can't meet up on Monday. Would it be possible to get this to you on so and so date, right? There are businesses that they love them not because of what they provide. Like I said, they can't meet up, but they give you an alternative. They provide an alternative because
For
they
you,
know, oh,
true.
you need it for something. Oh, you want to get my cufflinks, you want to use my good cufflinks, and I say, oh, I tell you, oh, I'm going to give you my good cufflinks when you come to me on Monday. You come to me on Monday and I say, oh, I'm sorry, somebody, collected my good cufflinks, but
Yeah.
would you rather use a silver cufflinks, right? So at that point, you even offering shows, oh, you actually care about, oh,
Me, true.
what you want to do, right? I had a conversation with a friend. So she said there was a customer that reached out. At that point, the customer was pregnant, right? And she knew, okay, the customer like was pregnant. And for a while they didn't, hear from her. All right. So when next they found out, oh, the customer had given birth, small business, but they tried to send a gift card, not even just
Yeah.
a card saying, oh, congratulations, because oh, they had the details,
Congratulations.
oh, congratulations, right? Now the customer would feel that experience and say, oh, hey, this guy, when I'm not a number to them, like I said, I belong to this family, I belong to this particular brand, for them to think of me
Yeah, so much.
this
Yeah.
in this way, right? So yeah, that's what I'll just add to what Chidinma has already said.
Okay, awesome. Let me do a summary of it, right? So it sounds like what Chidima, the experienced designer, is saying, and what you're also saying is that don't let the customer like have like an impression about you. You should control the narrative, design what you want them to experience. So you're not going to meet up, be the first to reach out to say, oh, this happened, that happened. As opposed to them wondering, oh, have they lost my clothes? Are they responsible? Did something happen? And then they are taking all these things in their head, which is for me a bad impression about you and about your business. But once you be the one to control the narrative and design what you want them to have as an experience, to say, look, we can't meet up, but we are sorry. We can do A, B, C, X, Y, Z to make up, or these are the available options. Just be the one to, be proactive and just control the narrative, right? Is that it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
awesome.
Just being
Awesome.
proactive. Yes.
Okay, so now let me get back to my list of questions and then we just quickly rush because of time. So I mean, as concisely as we can, guys. Is there a difference between customer experience and customer service, customer support? Because I grew up right knowing customer support. You have an issue with your business or with the products, call customer support. You look MTN. you try to recharge your phone. Is not something happens to the call credits. Call customer support. And we all grew up knowing that, but now we are hearing customer experience. So I think, just to be clear, are they semantics? Are they just the same thing, just no different word? From what you described so far, I think they are completely different. But it'd be nice to hear from you guys. What the difference between customer support, customer service, and customer experience, and which one would you advise should come first for a business that cares about growth and about scaling?
Okay. I would say customer experience or customer service is just a portion of customer experience. So you
Mm,
mentioned customer support. You have an issue, you reach out, and then they help you solve the issue. The
yeah,
difference is customer support, the user already has a problem. So at that point, you're just trying to remedy the situation. For
oh, I
customer
see.
experience, like I said, it's from the beginning. It's the way they see your brand. Are they a friendly brand? Are they do they look like a Gen Z brand? All of that experience, it's all part of it. So you're not waiting for them to reach out to you with an issue. You're starting with
Mm,
their buying experience. When they come into your shop, how do they feel? There's
yeah,
some stores that you go to, you walk into a boutique and they are offering you a glass of champagne. You already know that, these people, they said they want you to buy.
yeah.
So some people, even if they may not have the best clothes, they enjoy the experience. And whether
Mm,
we like it or not, that sort of it influences people's buying decisions. There's sometimes I see some of these designer clothes. And do people really spend this much money on this thing when you can get um, maybe fast fashion that even looks better,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you see that probably your buying experience was different. The quality as well, the general experience. They know that if they wear this thing and walk into a room, they command respect. So it's things like that. That is what customer experience is about. It's not just there's an issue and we're trying to solve it.
Hmm.
So to your question of which should come first, like I said, customer experience embodies the whole thing. So you definitely need to build your customer experience. Your customer service is somewhere in there. Or rather, customer support is somewhere in there.
Yeah.
You're trying to help your customer. They have an issue with using your website. You reach out. You help them, walk them through the process, and make sure they're good. There's something Francis mentioned in the beginning. It's from the they have the brand till post purchase. So even
Hmm.
after they bought your product or they bought your service, that follow up. You see people get your email address to follow up. Oh, how have you, like a feedback survey
Yeah.
asking,
Yeah.
okay, are you satisfied with the product? Um, in days before, when it was just customer service, they're just fixing your issue now and then moving on. Now people want to know, okay, how did you experience this service? What can we do to improve? Even going as far as asking NPS questions, that's Net Promoter Score questions, and asking you, would you recommend somebody? And
Hmm.
if they want to know why, because they want to improve. So you're talking about a business that are interested in growth. That is the best way to grow. You're not just growing in numbers. We don't just care about numbers. We're not just selling in volumes, because when it's a new business and for some reason you're selling out in volumes, the importance of the business is having repeat customers.
Yeah. True.
So if somebody is buying from you once and they don't want to come back, at the end of the day, word will get out that your product is not that great.
Yes.
Another thing they say is the best form of marketing is word of mouth. So that's also very important. You want to control your customer's experience as much as possible, because what you tell the next person will influence whether you have an increase in the volume of your sales, and if you have people that even come back to buy from you. So yeah, that is the shortest way that I can explain the difference.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so what you're saying is that customer experience is controlling your entire customer engagement with your business, from the pre-purchase to the purchasing cycle to the even after sales support. I mean, just the entire, yeah, the entire customer touch point or journey with your business as a whole, from the advert they see to coming to your store or buying online from you, even engaging with your online salespeople, so even after the purchase process. Where customer support is just like offering an after sales, or yeah, something like an after sales support, like if there's an issue, fix it. It's more transactional, like a one-off. Something is wrong or something's about to go wrong. So customer support step in to fix it. But customer experience is from there from the beginning, even till your entire business life. Because even if I'm not buying from you, you're just sending me emails, wishing me happy birthdays, reminding me there's a sales going on. Fantastic. Okay, because of time, Francis. So, as a small business, now I'm convinced I want to set up a customer experience department, a unit, or even desk, or even maybe because I'm still a woman business, so a customer experience, let me say, units in my head, right, for my business. How best do I start? What should I start with? What will be the first one, two, three things to do to have that in place?
Okay. So I think the first thing would be, I think we mentioned it already on the call, but earlier, would be your journey, right? You need to know exactly what you want to do, right? So in the sense of, what do you want to sell? You
Yeah,
want to sell bags and shoes, yes? Okay, so how the first thing you think about is, how would people get to know my product? How would people hear about my product, right? So
yeah,
what that means, okay, of course, I know the first series talked about digital marketing,
yeah,
so I know that's already been covered extensively. But again, how will people get to know your product, right? So like we're talking about the how to start. Now you've gotten it down, how customers would get to hear about your product. Then how do they come in? What channel? What
yeah,
are the touch points through which they come in, right? Are they going to send you a mail? Are they going
Yeah.
to, reach out to you via your
WhatsApp chat. Yeah.
website,
Yeah.
live chat, right?
Yeah.
So now you can decide to control your narrative based on your resources you have. I would
Hmm.
explain. So if you do not have enough resources to have a website, have your social media support and the likes, right? So depending on what you want to sell to your customers, you can then decide how you want your customers to reach out to you. Again, this is you starting, right? And you
Yeah.
would have to, of course, have done your research. So I'll give an example. I cannot tell customers that want to order a bag from me to send me an email, right?
Mhm.
I can
True.
actually tell them, but it's not going to go well with what I want to sell, right? Of course, I could send an email if I have an issue, right? But I want to place an order. It should be easier for me to place an order than sending you an email telling you, oh, Mr. Ibrahim, I want to buy a one black a a black bag, medium size, that kind of thing. Yeah. So it will be better. Okay, do you have a website? Again, most like I said, customer experience touches every point, right? From
Yeah. Sure.
marketing, advertising, right? Okay, so now they've gone down. Yeah, it's easy for them to place an order, right? What next? What are you doing in terms of letting them know, okay, you've received the order, right? So for a small business, you have your website. Probably you have a live chat setup.
That's, yeah.
What you can do at this point is, you know, decide what like you've said, the experience you want your customers to have. Do you want them to say, oh, like my brand is speed? Do you want them to attribute speed to your brand, right? So they placed
Hmm.
an order and they've placed an order, they've sent you a DM, they placed an order, you've given them all the details, and they've made their payment. And within 1 2 days, you've responded, you've provided, you've sent out the goods, right? So the first thing all that is within the customer journey. You need to define that customer journey. What at each step of the way do you want them?
Yeah.
What do you want them to experience, right? So the next thing would then be the pain points. Yes, you've mapped out the experience, but what are the possible pain points that your customers can have? Remember what I said? I said there are customers that would probably not be happy with your brand. They wouldn't even tell you. They just drop off.
Yeah. True.
They just drop off and move on to the
And they won't
next,
come back.
right? So again, I said it before, think like your future customer, right? And again, Chidinma has said the feedback as well. So what does that mean? At the beginning, I said, oh, you have your prospective customers, you have your current customers, and you have your lost customers. You can reach out to your lost customers and say, oh, hey, we see you're no longer transacting with us. What exactly, what could we have done better, right? Of course, not everybody would answer, but you get 1 or 2 feedbacks that would help as well. Your current
Hmm.
customers as well. Speak to them in this journey, from you hearing about my product to you actually making your purchase. What did you like? What don't you like?
Yeah.
Where do you think I can improve? Right now, you've gotten the possible pain point by thinking like your future customer. You've gotten possible pain points, right, from your current customers as well as your customers that your lost customers, people that have stopped doing business with you, right? So it's now for you to now improve those points, right? So again, then the last one I would say is your touch points, where, or should I say, yeah, your touch points, right? Chidinma had said the difference between customer experience, customer support is
So,
them being
yeah.
able to reach out. So you have a small business, customers should be able to reach out to you even if you have a small business, right? Are you a one-man business? Are you if you're a one-man business, then okay, it's just you, right? Should someone what that means is you're going to get a lot of calls if you decide to use if you decide to give out your phone number and
Numbers.
have
Yeah.
your phone as a point of contact, right? If you decide you want to use emails as what it means is every email that comes in, you need to follow up with every email, right? Customers like to be heard. Customers, and every customer has their preferred mode of engagement, which is something you need to find out depending on what product you're selling. Like I said before, um, at this era is social media. Everybody
Yeah.
wants
True.
Instagram. The best way, once you say, oh, I sell bags, the next question someone is going to ask you, like most likely is going to ask you, is, do you have a website? If you don't have a website, or since you're a small business, if they don't ask about your website, what's going to be next is, can I have your handle, your Instagram
Social media
handle,
handles. Yeah.
your social media handle? What's your, and once you go like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have, and yeah, you might have a walking store, right? But again, look at your target audience. Are
Hmm.
you looking out for people that shop online? or people that like to come to a shop, physical shop, and
Welcome to the
make
show,
that
yeah.
purchase. Right. So in summary, you need to get your customer journey right. What is the experience you want your customers to have from when they hear about your product to them making that purchase? You need to understand what are the
Fantastic.
pain points for you. What are the possible pain points that could come about, right? You sell bags. I'll give an example. You sell shoes or you sell fashion items. Major pain point with fashion items is there is always a possibility of it not being the exact size, right? That's why you hear, oh, what I
Yeah,
ordered
sure.
is different from what I got, right? You
That's
need
what
to
I mean, yeah.
understand. Yeah, right. So you need to understand. Is it? You need to be again. You need to, if they are customers, of course, customers will be customers. No matter how clear you can be with your description, a customer might have an issue. I'll give an example. I have issues when I want to get probably shoes or trousers, right? So I tend not to even want to shop online. I prefer to just go to a shop to get that, right? So just because I know I have that issues. So if you are going into you are going to fashion, you know that the possible pain points are someone asking for an item and it not being the same size, right? Not being the same size, not being the same color. So since that would be a pain point, question now is how do you solve that pain point? What do you do? Do you tell them, oh, I'm sorry, that's what you ordered, that's what we have on file, that's what you ordered, right? Or do you say, oh, well, sorry, this is the process, you can return this and would change it to something else, right? You need to just that's it. Then the last would be being present, right? Omnichannel. I think I know this was mentioned in the digital marketing. Being
Yeah.
you can as well be you can decide where you want to be and be very good at it. You can decide, oh, I want to support my customers via live chat, or you could as well have everything live chat, your website, email, but you need to always respond to these customers as quickly as possible. Customers tend not to have as much patience as you would think, right? I sent a DM now. I'm expecting you to respond to me within the next 10, 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I'm not expecting to wait 24 hours before I get a response, right? Except you tell me before, oh, I'm sorry, responses will take like
To
24
be
hours, so
delayed,
I'm
yeah.
aware. I will be delayed, so I'm aware. But yeah, in summary, those are the three things I would advise a startup or a small business to try and do.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. We had planned this session for 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops. Now we are almost pushing 50 minutes. So, and I know we have to leave now because we have other work meetings. Just to have your, just final questions for two of you, right? For Chidinma, just like in 30 seconds, what would you advise, or what are your favorite customer experience tools? Like, what is that maybe one tool that maybe I should have and maybe learn to use if I want to really ace my customer experience game? For Francis, it would be, what would be that one hack, that one thing that, like, like a hack, like a life hack, like a shortcut, something I can do, like even if all else fails and I still want to do customer experience, just do this one thing, and then you would pretty much ace the game. So for Chidinma is, what's that one tool you would advise that businesses should start considering switching to using, or sort of like mastering? They want to really do it as CX. Well, for Francis, the question is, what is that one hack that I should put in place to help me haste my social media game, even if or when all else fails? This one thing, just do it consistently, and then you would pretty much control the narrative. So yeah, anybody can go first.
Let me go first. Okay, so for me, the hack would probably be um, I would say empathy, right? Empathy, thinking like your customer, right? Why I say this is the base, because if you think like your future customer, right? If you think like your future customer, anything you do will be, and no matter what you do, if it's advertising, from advertising to your post sales support, it's going to be
Yeah.
geared towards your customer, right? Putting yourself in the person's shoes. The person doesn't have to have a bad time for you to put yourself in person's shoes, right?
True.
So as a
True.
person, ask yourself, as a person, how would I like to engage with the business? What do I like to experience when I engage with a business? So once you can answer that question, you're good to go. Once you can answer that question, you're good to go, basically.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's like very, very concise. So empathy, like empathize with your customers all the way, and then you can't get that wrong. So it affects both the pre-sales, during the sales process, and after sales. If you keep empathizing with them, then you're able to deliver exceptional experience for them all the way. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Francis. Chidima, so what would that one to you would want us to start learning now and then just sort of like perfect so it's our customer experience game? I mean, there are several tools, so it's a bit
Uh,
tough to choose one.
yeah, so like it's a bit. So when you ask the question, I'm thinking which one is it? So you know how I said customer experience can be pretty broad.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say there are lots of CRM tools out there. Intercom, for example. You would want something um, that can be like an omni-channel tool, so you can
Mm.
receive your chat, inquiries, customer experience support. You can do all of that on one place. The intercom, for example, you can receive chat from Instagram, Twitter, pretty much all your touch points, and address them in one place, which is good. Another thing that is really good is the fact that you can get feedback. I'm all
Mm.
about feedback, voice of customers, hearing their experiences. Um, a lot of businesses don't like to do that. They keep it simple. How satisfied are you? After everything, they don't want to hear anything else. I think it's very important to actually get the feedback. And you hear some experiences. I've worked in a company where I heard some experiences and I'm like, are you kidding? Because that is management, it is possibly punishable, but nobody has heard of those experiences. So when you hear them, you now know that there are holes and there are issues to be addressed. So
Address there.
it's that you can reach out to your customers, you can send outbound communication, receive inbound communication, and get feedback. That is something that you should definitely look out for. Intercom is one of them. There's Zendesk as well. Um, there are so many of them out there, so it's
Mm.
best to just shop around. So most of them are paid services, so I guess you can always find what works for you. There's some other. So if you're a small business, you don't have the ability to pay for some of the services to get feedback. You can use Google Forms. That is free.
Yeah,
You
fantastic.
know, so there are many options out there. Just shop around and find the best one that works for you.
There you go. Okay, so just to summarize, what I hear you say is go for a tool that allows a two-way communication. They can reach you, and then you can reach them, and then it just pretty much solves the entire problem of getting feedback and also sort of like providing support for them. That's been very fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Francis. Thank you,
I
Chidima.
forgot to mention this as
Okay,
well.
please go ahead.
Analytics. So you want something that would also give you
Oh,
reports.
fantastic! Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's something we didn't really touch much on in customer
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
Numbers
yeah.
also matter. As much
Mm.
as they matter, like Francis said, we shouldn't also treat our customers like they are just numbers. The numbers are
Numbers,
very.
fantastic.
We want to know how many people are signing up on our page, how many people are actually interacting with your business. And the feedback, how many people are giving negative feedback, how many people are giving positive feedback.
Positive feedback.
That's where
Yeah.
the NPS comes in. You know how many people would actually recommend your business against those who will even say the
Yeah.
bad things about your business. And then you can measure it and make the right decisions. So yes, analytics is another thing to also look out for when looking out for a CRO too.
Oh wow, wow. Okay, no. What I'll say is we definitely would have like a follow up episode to this, maybe later in the year or next year. Because I mean, what you open there is a very major chapter in terms of analytics. Most businesses are obsessed with numbers, downloads, installs, new users, new signups. And like Francis rightly said, uh, let's not run that risk of seeing our customers as numbers. But then again, it's also important. So how do we then balance seeing them as numbers? How do we then balance with seeing them as actual customers that will help grow the business? Again, I'm fully loaded. We planned this for 30 minutes. It's about 53 minutes, and we still have so much more to go. But we have to end today's episode here. Thank you so much, Chidima. Thank you so much, Francis. It's been awesome having you guys. Again, to the viewers, this was brought to you by Zazuu Business. You can learn more about Zazuu Business. Go to business.zazuu.co, also biz.zazuu.co to learn more about Zazuu. And then you'll be able to then learn how you can send money to pay your employers, so pay your employees, your partners, your contractors in Africa from the UK. We will have a separate, I mean, after this, we'll see an advert about Zazuu Business. Then you can learn more about Zazuu Business. We have to get back to work now. Francis Chidinma, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you everyone for tuning in as well. Bye.
Hi guys.
Bye.